Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the Doomreaver. Made level 50. Took a little peek in there at the end of the last episode at Nagafen. So what we're going to do today is we are going to do kind of a bit of a boss rush, I guess, if you want. I think that's Skeleton did a video where he went and killed a bunch of bosses, and the title of that video is Boss Rush. I think that's a pretty cool title. That's not what I'm calling this video, but that's what we're going to do. So we're going to head over to the hole, and we're going to fight Master Yael in the hole, and then we're going to head over to Kedge Keep, all the way across the world, and we're going to fight Sigil Atropos in Kedge Keep, assuming I can swim my way through there without getting lost for 3 hours. And then we're going to face the true challenge. We're going to kill Lord Nagafen and Lady Vox, in that order. That's the goal today. This might end up being a shorter video than many of them because there's not going to be as much to show, and I'm not going to cover all the travel. I'm just going to kind of fast forward to each of the places, make my way through them, and show the boss fights. So it might turn out to be a much shorter video. I think before we get started real quick, I'm going to just talk about spells like I usually do. So we made level 50, so I've updated my spell list, both the buff list and the fight list, with all the new stuff. Some interesting things in here. So we've got Spirit of the Puma, which we can infuse our target with the Spirit of the Puma, allowing them to make a savage attack for extra damage. So when we're not doing anything else, we could cast that on our pet. Could probably also put that in, depending on how healing looks, I could put that into my Spellblade slot, because the cast time and refresh time is correct to do that. So maybe we can do that. So we'd effectively just be proccing extra attacks from our pet. We've got Spirit Quickening, another pet buff, so we have that on our companion, providing increased strength, armor class, and attack speed. So I put that out here on my fight bar so I can make sure that old Jabobber, or whichever version of the Spirit Wolf, whichever spirit we have in wolf form with us. And then we've got Infusion of Spirit, so just some more buffs, and I also changed out, I put Melozi out here on my bar, so I can make sure that I'm hitting the dragon targets with Melozi, to make sure we're able to hit them with our slow and our dots. That's where we're at. On the buff side, we also switched over to Resist Fire and Resist Cold. I kind of talked about that in the last episode, and I threw on Resist Fire for all the fire giants and stuff. But I hadn't actually put it onto my buff bar. So this is kind of our buff setup here right now. And we are ready to go. Now on the alternate advancement front, I'm up to 7 unallocated AAs, and I kept talking about getting the fear resistance. And now I don't have enough AAs to get it all the way maxed out, but I'm going to go ahead and spend the 6 of them to get fear resistance one more level. And that should put me at 75% chance to resist most fear spells. And then next rank would grant me immunity to most fear spells. But that's okay. We're going to go in with 3 out of 4, 75%. That's going to be just fine. All right, so with that, we're going to get it going. Going to head my way over to the hole. I'll pick it up there and talk a little bit about that, and we will head in and go from there. All right, guys, we're on our way to Master Yael in the hole, but I was crossing the Kanos Hills on my way to Kanos to ride across to Iridan, or Irud's crossing, and then over to Iridan, and then down to Peniel to get to the hole. And I had a thought that I'm going to need some water breathing when I get down to do Sigil Atropos. I swung by old Haddon here, who drops the fishbone earring that gives you water breathing. I'm going to kill him real quick. I'm going to grab that, and then I'm going to continue on my way. Someone had just killed it in D0, so I made a quick D1 instance and ran over, and he's here. So we're going to kill him. We don't want too much of a faction hit, so we're going to kill Haddon, and then if Axe adds, he might not add because I'm high enough level, but if he does, I'm just going to run to the zone and zone him off. So I'm going to grab this real quick. He's low level. He's only level 28, so it's a pretty easy item to pick up for water breathing. So this shouldn't take much. Could just send in the pet and have him kill him. All right, so we get a fishbone earring. Oh, see, Rufus is adding. That's fine. We'll let the pet fight him for a second. Maybe kill him. We're going to loot these, and I'm actually just going to tell my pet to go away. I don't want the faction hit from that. And I'm going to run to the zone, so I'm just going to line myself up with the Kanos zone. We'll take a look at this real quick. So I just picked up... Yeah, so here it is, the Fishbone Earring. So Fishbone Earring +1 because I'm in D1. Gives some dexterity, but the important thing is it gives us Enduring Breath, which is a constant water breathing. So we don't need anything else. Because one of the things Finnegal will do is remove my buffs. He'll just start clearing my buffs off. And so having some kind of water breathing as a buff isn't going to work out. So I'm definitely going to want this for later. So we'll throw that in one of these slots here. Right now, this one has mana and... Well, actually, I could combine these two and just throw this one in there. So I'll just go ahead and do it. And yeah, I see I'm still auto-attacking nobody. But there we go. So I've got the Fishbone Earring. I've got some Enduring Breath. And I'll go ahead and combine these real quick. Doesn't actually get us another level yet, but it works it upward, and it's a good use for it. Alright, so we're going to continue on. I'll pick it up over there with Master Yael, and we'll go for our first raid boss. Alright, we're here at the Voidling that is in Payneal outside of the hole. So you can actually jump in here to get to the hole. Jump in the big hole, and it takes you there. But we're going to make a raid instance. So we need to use the Voidling here. So if we hail the Voidling, we get the another who thinks themselves a legend. Do you truly believe you're immune to the possibility of fracturing space and time and unleashing the void? Only you can accept the risk and the danger. I say danger, and he says, your hubris risks are very reality itself. And it gives me the option to create a raid instance. So I'm going to stick with difficulty 0. I'm going to do solo, just myself, and I'll click here, create raid. So today there was a patch, and they added some new things. So one thing they did was rework Najina, the dungeon. So that's something we'll have to check out in the future. Kind of gave it the whole Befallen and Blackborough treatment, which I still haven't been back in Blackborough to check that out either. So maybe that's some stuff we'll do after the new public beta starts on July 1st. But if I now click on my little pick window here, I have some options. So I have one charge. I can pick difficulty. And that hasn't really changed. So I can choose what kind of zone I want to go to and all that. Or I can create an instance. Now with the instance, I have charges. So here I can't create an unlimited number of instances. I get a charge every hour. This seems to only so it didn't start ticking down until I got online today. So I don't know if it's only online time that creates charges. And this is now how I would create my 0 through 4 solo or multiplayer instances. But that seems to be separate from the raid instance, so we're going to go through with the raid instance setup now. 0 solo create raid. And what this is going to do is zone us into the raid instance of the whole, where we're just going to have access to the raid boss, Master Yael, and the mobs that are associated with Master Yael. So an example with Nagafen's lair, if we were there, it would give us the fire giant named spawns. So King Tranix and Magi Rokal and all those. Warlord Scarlin. So it would give us those spawns as well as Nagafen. Here in the hole, it's a lot smaller. It's just Master Yael and a couple of spawns in his room that we're going to have to deal with. And we'll check it out. So I did dismiss my pet earlier when I was, after I finished fighting Haddon for the Fishbone Earring. So I'm going to bring my pet back in. I'm going to swap over to our buff setup. I'm going to get us buffed up. And then we will head in there and I'll get up to full mana and health, and then we'll head in there and check out Master Yael. Alright, we're buffed up and got my pet out. We're almost full mana, so we're going to go ahead and head in. So when you come in here, you just dropped into this little zone area here. Nothing else spawns in here except for in Master Yael's room. So you come down and hit this rock. And you come into this room. So off to the right, we've got an elemental warrior who's just a warrior, and a channeler who's a cleric. So it's going to be important when we pull Master Yael that we kill this cleric. Otherwise, it's going to be healing Master Yael and dragging out the fight. This warrior we can pull alone without getting Master Yael, but the channeler is actually tied to Master Yael. So Master Yael's over there. He's a big earth elemental with a big sword, and he's hanging out. I kind of auto-pulled the warrior there, but we'll fight this warrior real quick, and then our plan is going to be to pull Master Yael. I'll probably hit him with Malosi to start, to reduce his resistance. And then follow up with Togor's Insects to get him slowed, and then switch to the channeler and work the channeler down. I think if I do it right, my pet will actually tank Master Yael for a short amount of time and take some of his spells, because the big strategy here for Master Yael is just to work his mana bar all the way down. Let him work his way through all the nukes and hit you with all of his nukes, and once he's out of mana, he's just a hit point sponge. And we do a lot of single target damage, so keeping it in Berserker stance if we can all the way. Keeping it in Spellblade to proc our heal. And we'll just keep ourselves alive through the onslaught of magic, and then just work him down with our melee, with harm touch, with all those things. We'll likely have to strip off his, I see he's got a couple of buffs, Mana Skin and Shield of the Magi that we'll strip off with our Black and Alloy Bastard Sword with the Pillage Enchantment click. And that should be a pretty good plan. I don't want to spend too much mana on dots, because we're going to want to save a lot of that mana for healing, because I'm not sure how much we're going to have to heal. Well, let's give it a go. I'm going to start. Try not to pull the channeler right away, but if I do, it's okay. I don't know if I can reach him from here. There we go. Start with Malosi. Apparently interrupted because I was still moving when I started casting it. Got him with Malosi. Auto attack is on. Throwing out the slow. It hit him. And then I'm going after this channeler because we don't want him over here healing the whole time. Yeah, it looks like he's mad enough at me that he's not going to switch to my pet. I was kind of hoping my pet might pull aggro just for a little while, like we can kind of split up some of this nuking that's happening. But it's okay. We're working the channeler around. Okay, healer's down, so we're switching back to Master Yael. I'm going to go ahead and pillage enchantments. See if we can get rid of his self buffs. He got some buffs from that cleric too. Okay, they're all gone. My freaking awesome pet has got his dot up on the boss. It's just sickened, but that's still cool. We're gonna go ahead and pop harm touch. Even though it's just a tiny bit of damage, it's still helpful. Tiny percentage of his damage, it's still good damage. We're doing all right. I'm getting some Spellblade procs in there for heals. I haven't had to hard cast a heal yet, which is kind of cool. I'm working him down, just watching his mana bar. Once he runs out of mana, it's no good. So I could actually do Mage Hunter and watch for when he does the fire attack that he does. I could pop into Mage Hunter, this one. The draw to fire does a lot of damage, but I can minimize that by popping into Mage Hunter and taking 50% instead. And then just back into Berserker as soon as it's available. I don't know that I'll have the timing to do that every time he does stuff, but we can keep an eye on it. What's available now, if I see another draw to fire, I can pop over. It seems to be the one that I've seen in other people's videos and the people I've talked to that does the most damage, so. There it is, popping into Mage Hunter. And while I'm here, I'm going to hit a couple of heals on myself. I mean, our mana's doing great here. I wondered how much I would have to heal, so I don't really want to go out of Berserker stance too much if I can help it. That's I learned that in our last video, that it's almost always better to stay in Berserker stance and just dish out the damage. Like, trust in the fact that what I built here is a killing machine, a Berserker. And don't worry so much about this defensive stance. You know what I didn't do? I did not, once again, I did not put Alacrity up on myself or my pet. That's all right, we can do it now. At least I've got it. I mean, this looks like a win to me, unless something crazy happens here. He's out of mana. The best he's going to do is maybe hit us with some very low-level root or something like that. I'm going to re-slow him just to be safe. Ooh, it did not land. As far as my pet's not already hitting him with Drowsy, he's usually so much on. Okay, so we got slow back up, and we're just working him down. We might actually get another shot of harm touch up here before long. Alright, he's on the run. I am shackled, so I'm moving very slow, but fast enough to keep up with him. Oh, is he gonna go out of the room? Okay, he didn't go out of the room. I was like, is he really gonna run out of the room? Alright, we didn't get his giant cool sword. I actually don't even know if he drops it, but... Oh, I'm wrong. I really thought that was a dagger. My first glance, I thought it was a dagger. We did get his giant sword. So we got Earthshaker. Looks pretty awesome. Huge delay, but huge damage, like with a pretty good ratio there. That might be worth kind of working up, if nothing else, to pull the Earthquake proc out of it. That's pretty cool. We'll take that, and we've got the Loam Encrusted Robe. Really cool for a caster. I'm not set up as a caster, but it is something I want to try in the future. Although, it's a moot point on this character, right? We're going to be resetting here pretty soon. Or at least going on hold. They're going to put this server on hold and apparently pull it back in as the test server in the future. So there's no other place to go from here. If you actually look on the map, it says this goes to Brell's Rest. I think this is on the Brewel's map. But there's nothing behind there. I think I can like peek through the door and see there's like a zone line back there, but it doesn't go anywhere as far as I can tell. When I was exploring before, I tried to click on this, and it doesn't go anywhere, so. Alright, so that's Master Yael, and we got a really cool two-hander out of it. Let's take a look at that Earthshaker. Let's see what it looks like. I don't care about selling it. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Okay, that's pretty sweet. That's pretty freaking sweet. So, Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword is... Oh, it looks like they reverted. I didn't even notice. In the patch notes, they were just a patch this morning, and I didn't read all of it yet. But it looks like they reverted the damage nerf to melee weapons, because if you look at the Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword here, it's a 0.821 ratio again. So they put that back to where it was. So, +5, this is a 0.821, and the Earthshaker is only a 0.529 at 0. So, it would probably be pretty good. As it goes up. So maybe I'll try to kill Master Yael on a couple higher difficulties as we go, because that'd be a really cool looking sword to have. But for the moment, we're going to stick with the Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword. And we are going to make our way to Finnegal. And like I said, we got our fishbone earrings, so we're good for Enduring Breath. We are off to Kedge Keep. Luckily, I am bound in Freeport, which means I can gate over to Freeport and then use the translocators to get across. So I'm going to run my way down to Kedge Keep. I'm going to swim my way through the maze of Kedge Keep, and we'll pick it up likely in Finnegal's room at the Voidling, where we'll look at how we need to approach the Finnegal fight. We'll probably have to clear some of the seahorses down there, but we'll see. All right, here we are in Finnegal Atropos's room in Kedge Keep. Oh, hello, buddy. So we swam our way through, came up from over here, swam our way through. Kedge Keep's a bit of a maze. Once you know it, it's not so bad, but there's like a secret door you have to go through and a bunch of other stuff. So we were just in the public D0 instance. You can see I see other people fighting things. What we're going to do is make another raid instance here, just a D0 raid instance. And then I think our plan is going to be to clear out these swirl spine seahorses, or at least clear out one of them so I can swim down below and fight Finnegal down below. I don't think we actually need to kill all of them. They kind of suck when they add, because they hit you with their, I can't think of what it's called, swirl something or whatever it's called, and it spins you around and stuns you for the whole time, and it lasts a long time, so we don't want to fight them at the same time as Finnegal. I also found that anytime I've been in here with a pet, whenever I go down there, the pet pathing is really wonky down here and goes all over the place. So if I pull something, my pet will end up pulling all of them. So I am going to dismiss my pet for the moment. I'm going to make the raid instance and then clear out one of these myself. I'll resummon my pet, I'll rebuff, and then we'll swim down and fight Finnegal down below. I can go out here and look, but you can usually see Finn. Oh, you won't see him here because I'm in the public instance, and raid bosses are not available in the public. So same dialogue here. Danger. We're gonna make a 0. type solo, create the raid. Alright, we are in our Kedge Keep solo difficulty 0 raid instance. There you go. Now you can see Finnegal. He's down there, hanging out, swimming around. So kind of swim back and forth down here. And what we want to do is clear one of the seahorses and then have him... I'll probably clear this one on the right that's over here. And then when he kind of swims away, we can swim down there with our pet and set up to attack him. And that way we're not having to clear all of them, but also we don't have to deal with them during the fight. And I see this one as a even level spawn, so this is the guy I'm going to try to take on. Now he also can have some really funky pathing, so I'm just going to try to get real close to him here. And then try to pull him upward with me. See if he can... Yeah, see, that's what I was worried about. So he ended up pulling Finn because he has like crazy pathing. So he swam all the way down first, got Finnegal, and then swam up. I'm going to harm touch. Let's see what I can do here to get this guy down and then feign death Finnegal if I live long enough. We're doing all right on the seahorse. It's got a lot of... So here's that swirl thing. What is that called? Vortex. And I might end up dying here because, yeah. Alright, first attempt was a failure because we got Finnegal. I switched sides. I'm gonna come over to this side. I'm gonna try the same thing on this guy. If this also goes poorly due to pathing or whatever, if I get Finnegal again, then my plan is maybe to just... I want to pull this guy up a little bit, up and out of there. Okay, that worked out. We'll fight this guy here. Okay, this is good. We didn't get any other seahorses. Just got the one. We didn't get Finnegal. Whoa. Something weird happened there for a second. That's alright. Not sure if I had like a lag spike or... I don't actually see this in the wall or something. Oh, it was above me. Just had to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna take this guy down, and this is that spell I was talking about. I mentioned it last fight, but this vortex spell just spins you in a circle for a while. Sucks if you're already low health and you're like wanting to heal, but you can't because you're getting spun around in a circle. There's some kind of little jump glitch there. I don't know if he knocked me back and then swam above me. If we had a little leg spike and he swam above me, but whatever. This is what we wanted. Up out of the way, and that way I can use this spot right here to swim down in there when I see that Finnegal is off to the other side. And hopefully that will allow my pet to path through here. I'll invis us so that the seahorses don't see us, but hopefully my pet can swim through here without aggroing all of the seahorses. So we'll see how it goes. This may result in just another death as I figure this out. There's a few different ways to pull this. I mean, in the end, what I could do is just fight all of the seahorses one by one and just not even have them be a concern. But just trying to see what I can do here. Let's bring the pet back out. I don't have quick buff available quite yet, but maybe I'll hang out here for a couple minutes and let that reset. And I'll buff up myself and the pet. And then we'll head down. I've got a lot of time on the respawn. I don't even know if these seahorses respawn anytime soon. I think they might be kind of like the giants in Nagafen's lair, which are, I think, on an 18-hour respawn, so we'll see. Actually, maybe just to give ourselves even more wiggle room, what I could do is just kill this guy too. Why not, right? I don't want to attack Finn without buffing up my pet. Oh, now Finnegal's kind of like right below this guy. You can see him down there swimming. Go the other side. Okay, guys, here we are. I got sick of those guys adding and messing with my pet and everything else, so I just killed all of the seahorses. So seahorses are cleared. We don't have to worry about that anymore. We can just get to pulling Finnegal and not have to think about it. I got my trusty pet back out here. I have us both buffed up, including Alacrity. Back in my fight set. We should be all set. Harm touch isn't quite back up yet, but that's okay. It'll be fine. We're going to go in Berserker stance. We're going to go in Spellblade. And the usual plan. So we're going to start with pulling with Malosi. And we're just going to pull him right up here. He might be out of sight right now, but we'll see. Got him with Malosi. And then we're going to try to hit him with Slow. Not sure what direction. Oh, he's straight beneath me. I'm going to swim down to him. Into melee with him. That's my bread and butter. No, he knocked me back, so that's not likely to land. So he's another boss that we just need to get through his mana bar. As long as we live through his mana bar, we're going to do okay. He knocked me way down here. Swim back up so I can hit him. And you can see his mana bar is already less than half. Ah, I didn't switch over fast enough to Mage Hunter stance for that draw to fire. Very similar to Master Yael with the spells he's casting. So I'm going to just keep kind of spamming my heals here to stay alive as he runs himself out of mana. I will watch if he does another draw to fire. I'll jump over to Mage Hunter. Meanwhile, we'll just be dishing out damage. Looks like not too bad. There's draw to fire. Switching to Mage Hunter. Take a little less. Go ahead and heal up a little bit. We'll let this stay through this rend also. And then back in Berserker. Alright, he is out of mana. So this should become a lot easier. Now, I had heard that he likes to just strip your buffs away. I wonder if that changed from what I've seen previously. Like I watched the other guys, the other clickbait guys all kill Finnegal, Wrecked, and Skeleton, and Classic, Razman. All those guys have killed Finnegal, and I'm pretty sure I saw all their buffs just get stripped away like super fast. So I don't know if something changed with what he does as far as his set of spells, or if it was the seahorses, but I'm not seeing that here. I'm still fully buffed up. A lot of those guys had Bard in their setup too, so I'm wondering if it's something to do with that. Either way, there we go. Second raid boss down. On D0, but still awesome. We got the Robe of the Kedge. That's always been like one of those really cool robes from back in the day. That's awesome. We'll stash that away in case we want to use it. And we got the Wand of Mana Tapping. Very neat. Okay, we'll take both those items. And here we are. We now fully own Finnegal's lair here because I killed all the seahorses too. So that's 2 raid bosses down. 2 raid bosses down. So we're going to gate out to Freeport, run our way up to Lava Storm, make our way in to Nagafen's lair, and we're going to launch another raid instance, and we're going to take down Nagafen. Alright, hey guys. I took a little break after killing Finnegal, so it's been like a whole day getting back in here. Today we're going to get ourselves some dragon kills, hopefully. We're going to go after Lord Nagafen and then Lady Vox. But I wanted to show something real quick before that. So I got this sword from Master Yael, and I probably just talked about it 5 minutes ago in the video, but I thought it looked really cool compared to the blackened alloy bastard sword that we had. And I said I might pump it up to get it up to a usable level. And I did do that, so I just want to talk about it real quick. So I have Earthshaker at +5 now, and the ratio is actually better than our blackened alloy bastard sword. And these are huge numbers, so that damage, because the delay is so high, that base damage is incredible. With Berserker stance, so we're hitting a lot faster, and then our skills using that damage to hit is just awesome. Along with that, I moved the Golem Metal Wand over, so I have the Pillage enchantment still here on this sword, and it's still in my bar here. But we also gained the Earthshaker Exaltation. If I click on that, so it causes the earth to tremble around you, causing between 214 and 246 damage to up to 8 nearby targets. It's an AoE, so we haven't really had any AoE on the Doomreaver, and now we've got some. The Akasha proc was awesome and is awesome, and I'll keep it around, but it only does 75 damage, so this is huge for us, and it looks super cool, so we're going to keep that. So what I was able to do is, there was a patch between these things, between the killing of Finnegal and right now, we got these constructed potential guys here. So this used to be a Priest of Discord, but now it's constructed potential. And what these guys do, if you hail them, they'll tell you that they can take your motes of potential and they can combine them into higher level ones. So I took all of my motes of potential that were in my storage here. They're all out. I'll redeposit these ones. And I basically merge them up into higher level ones, and I use those to level up my sword completely. So I never got another sword to combine. I just used motes all the way up to +5. And in fact, it's even pretty far into +5. So if I get more motes, I can combine it up into +6. That's a pretty cool thing they added. It gives you a use for those really low level moats. It takes a lot of them to get up into the higher level ones, but none of them are a waste. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So you turn in 2 of a lower one, you get 1 tier up. Super cool. I think that's a great addition to the game. And with that, I'm going to gate my way over to Freeport, and we're going to go after Nagafen and get it done. Hey guys, I made my way back into Sol B, into Nagafen's lair here, and I'm at the Voidling. We've seen this guy before. We're going to start up a solo D0 raid instance. And unlike something like Master Yael or Finnegal, we're going to have to clear our way to Nagafen. We'll have to clear through the named fire giants, so we're gonna do that right now. So difficulty 0, solo, create raid. All right, here we are in our raid instance. So they start you a little bit outside of where we were, because the first fire giants kind of start out here. And we're just gonna start clearing our way through the fire giants. They are blue. We fought some before, and wasn't so bad. So I know I can take them down. I did fight through the named fire giants before to get to Nagafen for that one shot of me charging him at the in the last video. But we're going to do it again this morning. Just kicking back, having some coffee, fighting fire giants. So you can see they're not too bad at all with everything we've got going on. Berserker stance, even our cool new sword. Just a pearl ring. We'll auto sell that. So here's where the Voidling is to exit. And the one to enter was kind of like over here in this corner, but it just starts you back around the corner a little bit. We're going to go up here. We'll go around the corner, and King Tranix's room is up there. We're going to do that. We're going to kill all the named fire giants. See if we get anything cool. We might get some duplicate loot because I did kill him before. So this one's yellow, so he's doing more damage. He's hurting a little bit. I think King Tranix, Warlord, and the Magi are all probably going to be yellow. I think they're all 52, 51, 52. So a little bit more challenging. I can get rid of the map. There's not much to show on the map. It's it's a pretty straightforward path. So right now my pet's not buffed up either. He just has his own self buffs, but we'll rebuff right before Nagafen, I think. I don't think we'll need it for the others. If I find that I do, then I'll take care of it then. Oh, I probably should have healed up before that. That's all right. Throw some heals while we're doing this. These guys are both blue, so it shouldn't be too bad. I can also go ahead and pop Harm Touch. It doesn't take too long to come back up, and although it didn't do that much damage, 1,000 points. So right, exactly what it says on the label. It says it'll do 1,000 points, and it did. So I don't know if there was something buggy before where it was doing the 2,000 or 4,000 points, or if those were just lucky crits, but we'll find out. There's patches, so many patches happening now. They're working real fast on fixing things, balancing things, getting more stuff in the game. They're adding in more of the maps that are missing. So the base in-game maps are getting filled out pretty nicely, and they're doing a good job with all that. I'm still using Bruel's maps for some things. In fact, I'll change the display type here to the light background, but so this is still Bruel's map. There's no map for Sol B yet. But I was looking at, they redid the one, looks like they redid the one for Everfrost and some other ones, and then there's some that are missing, like Butcher Block and stuff, and they're starting to get all those maps in the game. So eventually I won't need Bruel's maps, and I'll have all in-game maps that actually reflect what Everquest Legends has versus what's out there for other emulator servers or other live versions of Everquest. All right, making our way through. So there's King Tranix, and he is, 52. He's a Shadow Knight. He's usually got a guy in his room. There he is. And that guy's 49, so he's going to be blue. So actually, I think I'll go ahead and take a quick moment to get all buffed up, because we're going to have this fight, which is decently hard. We're going to have Warlord around the corner, and then when we go down, we'll have the Magi to the left, and we might as well have the pet at full strength. So I'll do that real quick, and then we'll pull King Tranix. All right, we're looking pretty good for mana, almost full. So we're going to pull King Tranix with a slow, and then we're going to swap over and kill that fire giant, the blue fire giant first, and then we'll switch back to King Tranix. I'm going to pull King Tranix by proximity, is what I actually meant. Totally did that on purpose. Definitely for sure. All right, so we get on this 49 warrior. Already got the slow on Tranix. We'll get the slow on the warrior here, and we'll take him out. We did not get the slow. Try one more time. If I can't get it, I might just let the melee happen. There we go. Got a slow. My pet took out King Tranix's pet. So that was cool. I think I did not hit myself with alacrity. As usual, we're getting the alacrity. We want all the haste we can get. So if I look, I think max haste is 175, so we're not doing too bad. If we can get something like a Cloak of Flames or a Rune Bolster Belt, we'll likely hit the haste cap, which would be awesome. The faster we can be, the better, because that sword, again, has a huge delay. I just realized that's the Blackened Alloy Bastard Sword that's still on my bar. But the Earthshaker's got that 70 delay, which is, we want to speed that up as much as we can. So between Berserker Stance and our personal haste and our gloves, our Sporali gloves, we get up to 153. So still swinging, almost like constantly swinging at this point, with a few little gaps in there as things go off, but overall just doing a load of damage. I've never really run a parser in Everquest to kind of see my DPS or anything. I know some people run that stuff, and no problem with it. I've just never really done it in Everquest, because I usually don't worry about min-maxing in EQ. As long as I can do it, I can do it. It doesn't, I don't really tweak down to the 1% trying to be at that level. So, but I'd be kind of curious at the jump between procs, like if I had how much more damage do I actually do with like the Earthquake proc versus the Akesha proc. That might be an actual reason to run that. All right, I'm going to sell these, and I already had a Polished Mithril Torque from when I came through before and killed King Tranix, so I'm just going to auto-merge this one up. But it is 7 AC, Intelligence, and Wisdom 13, which is pretty nice. All right, we're going to go kill Warlord. Should be 2 guys in this room, usually. Nice. So Warlord Scarlan is a warrior, 53, so even a little bit stronger than Tranix. And then we've got a 49 warrior giant. So I'm going to try to start with a slow. Oh, I got in his line of sight again. I'm just going to pull everything with body pull today. All right, though. We're going to, same thing, we're going to switch over to the lower level warrior. Try to take him out first. Got a slow on both of them, so that's good. I'm gonna hit him with Harm Touch. 1,000 points again. So I think something was going on with Harm Touch, because if you remember, I was like one-shotting frogs and stuff with Harm Touch. It was pretty crazy. So I think there might have been something bugged there. We'll see. I know it was definitely doing 2 to 4 times the damage it's done in the last 2 Harm Touches I've done. So either I'm getting more unlucky now, or there was something buggy going on there. I had reported it last time because it suddenly jumped from, this like 1,000 points or whatever. It suddenly jumped up huge. I didn't know if that was intended, so I had taken a screenshot and reported it, and I saw that there's some other people had already done that. So I think there was something going on there. But hey, we used it to kill a whole bunch of frogs, so that was fun. Watching them explode from Harm Touch. All right, we're doing all right here. I haven't had a hard cast to heal in either of these 2 fights, which is cool. I may want to do one here because he is chunking me down pretty good. Maybe find a better angle than just staring at his diaper and feet. All these giants in their diapers. Guess it's maybe supposed to be like a sumo wrap thing. I don't know what he's got going on. It's got like a kind of a desert look, and then he wears a diaper. Guess if you're warm all the time, why not, right? Just wear your tidy whities. Although those aren't very white. All right, got him down. We've got some mithril greaves, and last time I killed him, I think I got the mithril arms, and they're in my storage now. That's another thing that they changed in this patch. Instead of key ring, they just call it storage, because that's more what it is. And they removed some of the extra tabs that weren't useful. So we have augmentations, activated items, which I'm not sure what goes in here, and then equipment. So it kind of made that a little clearer about what's going on. Now we also have this storage tab up here. So I imagine at some point, like this storage will move into what was the keyring storage here. This right now only stores the motes of potential. So I don't know if this is going to stay separate or just say motes or something, but we're making a lot of changes really fast. So I imagine they'll get that cleaned up. So we're going to sell these other things and we'll loot the greaves. And I don't think the greaves are going to outdo our current legs. Yeah, see, our Dark Forge leveled up to +4 is doing way better than that. And we'll continue on. So a couple more giants, and then we'll be getting into the Magi, and then Nagafen himself. All right, moving on to the bridge. This is kind of a cool room. It's got the bridge here. We saw this last time. This is where I fell into the lava like a dum-dum when I was trying to do the switch up there, but I'll try not to do that this time. Although no guarantees. Sometimes I just do random stuff. So this pet is out here just tanking this fire giant warrior, like no problem. He's I'm not even attacking. I was so enamored by my pet attacking this guy that I wasn't even attacking him myself. So we're gonna help the pet out, but I love that he can just kind of tank him. And we saw with or I saw in one of my fights with Yael when I was trying to get things set up, or when I was exploring, my pet actually tanked Master Yael for a little while, and while I killed the cleric that was with him, and I thought that was pretty amazing. He was just taking nukes from Yael and healing himself. I mean, he was going to die pretty quick, but it was kind of cool that for just a little while I killed the cleric mob that's in there, he was able to take a raid boss. But again, you can see he would have lost the fight to that giant, but he can hang in there for quite a while. We got harm touch again. Once again, 1,000 points even. Gonna call that a bug from before and call it fixed. And then I'll stop talking about it now. I just want to see a couple of data points that it was 1,000 every time. I'll watch. I think it can still crit, so I'll watch and see if I hit anything like that. Alright, the next room is a pretty big pool. You've got... If I pull up the map here, we can see it probably. Well, it doesn't show very well on the map, but you have these two fire giant warriors, but every time I pull them, the Magi comes from inside Nagafen's lair. Yeah, see, he's coming all the way out. So this ends up being like a pretty tough fight overall. So this one's going to be there's going to be some healing going on here, because we're going to be getting nuked by the Magi. I'm going to try to get a slow on these giants, just to slow down that damage so I can tank the nuke damage. My pet's getting hit by somebody. Okay, I got both of those slowed. I'm going to attack this one my pet's attacking and try to get rid of it. That way he stops getting hit. Draw to heal. Working this guy down pretty fast. Yeah, I'm going to lose the pet here. It's alright. I actually took taunt off my bar because it wasn't really being a problem at all. I should put it back on. Throw it back on the bar here. Maybe I'll throw it on before I do the Nagafen fight, just in case for whatever reason my pet pulls aggro. I don't want my pet tanking Nagafen, so I will want to pull that off if I can. I think this spot on my bar is actually mapped to one of my movement keys because I was putting that's like on Quorum where I would put sense heading so that every time I press like my A key to strafe left or D to strafe right, I get it uses sense heading and it gives me a skill up. And I think I set it up the same way here when I initially came in, and that's why I don't have anything there right now. But putting taunt there and just randomly taunting is probably fine. I want to be tanking the stuff I'm fighting anyway, so. I wonder how that what would happen though with like an NPC or you know, somebody I didn't want to attack, like a guard, if I was targeting them or whatever, or a trainer, and I actually don't really need trainers here, but you know, something like that. Somebody I didn't want to attack and then I taunted just by moving. That might cause a problem. But I think we're fighting Nagafen, it's no big deal. So I think I only had to heal like once or twice in there. My procs from Spellblade have actually been keeping me up. There's another big one. It's not really a big deal. So Polished Mithril Mask and Lava Rock. The Polished Mithril Mask is 5 AC, 7 Intelligence and Wisdom. And we're sitting with an Iron Visor. Very, very early game item here. So, you know, that is... The stats on it alone probably make it better. The AC is just slightly lower. So maybe I'll throw that on. It's not going to hurt us. So I was looking at grabbing taunt, and then I got distracted by the mask there. But let me put taunt on the bar here. Okay, so it's on my W key. So when I go forward, it's going to taunt automatically. I mean, the nice thing about that right there, though, where it auto kind of pulls Rokil out of this room, is that then there's no giants in Nagafen's room. So it's just Nagafen back there by himself. And we don't have to, like, kind of deal with the giants and reset Nag or anything like that. So I'm going to get my pet out. I'm going to get rebuffed with my pet. And I'm going to make sure we have our Alacrity on us and the pet Spirit Quickening. And we're going to give this a go. All right, here we go. I've got the pet back out. We are fully buffed up. I've got the pet buff, Spirit Quickening on him. I've got Alacrity on both of us. I am Berserker Stance. I am Spellblade. Arm Touch is up. Let's do this. All right, what do we pick up here? We've got Blight, the Hammer of the Scourge, which the combat effect Scourge gives you 58 damage initially and 98 damage every 6 seconds for a minute and 12. That actually adds up to a lot of damage. Wow, that's pretty cool. We've got Hierophant's Crook, which is Druid only. So we'll go ahead and grab that. We'll auto merge the other one, or we'll merge the other one. We've got Orb of Tashan. So this is 9 strength, 9 stamina. It gives us some mana, and it's a one-hand blunt, but we're not really interested in a one-hand blunt. But the strength, stamina, and mana, that's interesting. So we'll take that, we'll merge. Cello's Drums of the March, which are awesome. We're not doing Bard in this run at all, but that's cool. Okay, so we'll grab this too. So Blight actually has a lot of stats. Stamina, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Save versus Disease. I think we can probably... We might want to swap in the Orb of Tashan somewhere. Well, let's see if we get another haste item, and then we'll swap in for the Spirali Gloves. The Orb of Tashan. Awesome. Nagafen down. Guess this is my lair now. Let's get a cool screenshot here. Hell yeah. Nagafen down. Alright, but we're not done. We've got one more dragon to conquer. We are going to head over to... I will origin back to Hallis. Make our way through the Everfrost to the Dungeon of Permafrost. And make our way to Lady Vox. We have made it to Permafrost. I'm standing outside, kind of checking out the cool view out here. So if I pull up the map, here's Hallis, where we've come in many times before. We came all the way across here to Permafrost. We're going to head in, and we're going to make our way up to Lady Vox. There'll be some stuff in her room that we will probably need to try to clear before we take her on directly. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. When I did this before with some... In the past, it's always been a mess trying to pull everything in the room. I did see in the patch notes that they reduced the number of spawns in her room. I did see that in the patch notes, they reduced the number of spawns in her room overall on the solo instances. So that will be helpful. But if we're looking at the map of Permafrost here, we're coming in down here, and we need to go all the way up here to where Lady Vox is. So we're going to make our way up there. I'm going to skip over it, I think, and just travel my way up there so that I'll get to where I'm outside the room there, and we'll start looking at what we need to do to clear it out and take on Vox. I actually don't know where the Voidling is for switching into a solo instance, so I'll have to find that in here as well. We'll give it a go. Luckily, you can invis past most of these guys until you get up to where the giants are. And that's where we'll pick it up. Alright, so I found the Voidling here is kind of inside this big room with a lot of goblin spawns here. It's right up against the wall. And you can see this little tunnel kind of goes into Vox's room. So this is where it's sitting at. So we're going to do the same thing we did for Nagafen. Currently feign death. Let me pop up here. Going to form ourselves up a D0 solo raid. Alright, so once it creates the raid, it kind of puts us in the same spot. So the other Voidling was right here, and now this is the exit Voidling here. Okay, so this little tunnel right here that's showing on the map that kind of goes up into Vox's room. You can see these little arrows here. Those are drop-down points. So I can actually get up into this area if I wanted, but I can actually get up into that area, but I can't make it past this first drop point. So this little tunnel here won't help us. What we're going to have to do is kind of come around, kill the ice giants on this side, come through, avoid these traps, and we're going to kill these chilling terrors. And these guys do a crazy knockback. And then we're going to come all the way up to here. And this little movable rock, this will be our entrance to the room. I can already see from here that there are fewer people in the room. So Lady Vox is in there, Priest of Nagafen, but usually you would see several several other giants in there. Let's make our way around. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and get my pet out and get him buffed. After I fight this guy, apparently, because I accidentally pulled him. He's a green. He's only 35, so this one will mow through. Actually, I won't worry about the pet yet, because I'm probably going to run into pathing issues anyway on my way up, and I should be able to just take these guys without any trouble. I mean, these are low-level giants. When we get to the higher-level giants, when we start getting up into near that movable rock and that entrance into Vox's area, then we'll get the pet out, we'll get them all buffed up, and we'll go after this for real. For now, we're just going to make our way through. So we'll cut down here. It looks like we'll need to hit this giant spider. Looks like I could also come around the other way. I think I can go this way, though, so I'm going to give that a shot. This guy's 43, slightly higher than the other guy. And we're missing most of our buffs, so it's killing a little slower, but that's alright. Alright, that guy's down. Let's go over here. I don't know if the spider is going to be aggro. He is. Okay. I couldn't actually remember if the spiders were aggressive or not, so let's see. We have a nice giant magus around the corner. And then these icy terrors. That's not the chilling terror. That's a different spawn. But these icy terrors, they do a big knockback. So we want to make sure we're not like lined up with our back to one of these traps to get knocked down. So we're going to come around this way, and make sure we're pulling with our back to a wall. So when we get knocked back. And then I know the aggro up here by this little entrance is real touchy with the stuff in Vox's room. Now, I don't know if that's true with the mobs they've removed, because maybe they were the ones that were chain aggroing into the room, but we'll find out. There should be a giant here. This guy's 39. No problem. Hit him with the old harm touch. Alright, and then we're going to clear out a couple of these. So you can see I'm kind of going around this way to dodge the two traps. If you fall below, you can come out, and it's hard to see, but there's a little purple area up here. If you fall below, you can come out a different way into Vox's room. And that's not always a bad idea either. But so I'm going to back up here, so my back is to a wall, as you can see the knockback there. I did not want to go. I don't want to go down below if I can help it. There's some bears and stuff I'd have to clear out, and it just take us a little longer. So this guy's 48, so he's legit. It's not one of those level 30 something giants. So we'll get a slow on him. Oops, wrong thing. I'll try to stack a dot on him. Work him down a little faster. My plan will be to go around the corner here and pull that other one as well and try to come back to where I am here. Alternatively, what I could do is come up this way and kind of pull him from this edge over here. You can just barely see him and then get knocked down this way. That might be better, because if he knocks me back up here, I could potentially pull the stuff in Vox's room, or I could get knocked down that trap. So I'll run around and do that on that side. I'll pull this guy with a slow. Looks like he's coming around the long way. He's going to actually put me in a position to be my back to a wall, or back to a trap again. So let me make sure wherever he is, I'm appropriately keeping my back to an empty space. I'm not going to fall down. Alright, so those guys are all cleared out, and we're going to come around up here. So this boulder moves, and it was before. Usually if you kind of mess around here, you'll end up pulling the room. But I'm actually not seeing any of those giants that were super close before. So it looks like they really did clear some stuff out of here. So there might be some of the other giants around the edges. So I'm going to take just a quick break and grab another coffee. And then we're going to give this a go. I'm going to feign death just in case here. We'll be right back. All right, I'm back. We've got some new coffee over here, and I went ahead and got my pet summoned. Got us all buffed up. We've got pet buff and alacrity on both of us, so we are set to give this a go. I don't have much strategy here other than going in and see what's going on. They made some changes to the chamber, so I don't know what all is going to be in there. If we get, I know that the priest was in there, so if that comes with Vox, we'll need to kill the healer first. And then once we get the healer down, we'll go after Lady Vox. May take more than one attempt here. I'm not real familiar with what the current setup in this room is. Okay, it looks like it's just the Priest of Nagafen and Lady Vox, so we're going to go after the Priest of Nagafen first. And I'm going to see if I can get Malozi, get a damage over time spell, and then get slow. And I need to get my pet on this guy as well. Okay, we're taking a lot of damage. Did harm touch the priest? And heal. Oh man, this is close. Alright, we got the priest down. We're on to Lady Vox herself. We're going to get Malozi up and then heal again. She's almost halfway through her mana bar. We did land the Malozi, which is good. Hit myself with a couple heals. Ah, she got me. Okay. Looks like Frost Breath was the final thing. Okay, well the nice part is the priest is now down. So when we come in, it's just fighting. We're what Wreck-It Rogue would call, we're failing forward. We're failing forward. So we died, but we got the priest down. And that means when we go back in, it'll be just Lady Vox. And we've already cleared everything else, so we could just run right back in there and take on Vox. So let me get back up there. I'm going to get set up, and we're going to go. And I don't see why we shouldn't win that. Like, we lasted so long there with no plan, and I kind of jumbled the beginning and everything else. So with going in with just one target, which is our forte, that single target damage is what the Doomreaver is all about. Although, I suppose you could say with Earthshaker now I can do some AoE, but generally speaking, we're dishing out the single target damage with those big two-hander hits. Alright, so back up here, let me get set up, I'll get my pet out, we'll get buffed up, and we're going to give this another go. I feel like this one's going to be the success, and we will have killed all of the kind of non-planar raid bosses. At least I'm hoping we do. Alright, be right back.
The ice and frozen plain, through bitter wind and driving rain, the northern sky was gold and white, yet Black Wolf marched into the night. Deep beneath the Everfrost, past every trail that others lost, a dragon waited in the cold, guarding secrets ages old. Silence hung beneath the stone, the frozen host stood still alone. Diamond scales and dice ancient frost, frozen breath, ice was shattered, scales were torn, the Dragonslayer now is born! Oh yeah! Kingdom, snow and stone. Levi's no longer holds her throne. The cold grew still. The north wind sighed. Another dragon laid to rest. Black wolf, Doomreaver. Dragonslayer, Dragonslayer.
Boom, we got her. Awesome. I think I actually killed her with the pillage enchantment. I forgot to do it at the beginning of the fight, and I took away her hit point buff that she had, and she died when I hit her with it. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so we did pick up a rune bolster belt, which I talked about I had gotten earlier from other build. This is the first time I've killed Lady Vox on the Doomreaver. But it did stack with my previous one that I got. We also picked up a Dragonbone bracelet, which is AC 5, Strength and Agility 8, which is nice. We also picked up a Crystalline Spear. I'll pull these up. Crystalline Spear that I already had in my inventory, and then a Rune Bolster Belt. So this means now we can use this haste belt. We can put on a 35% haste belt, and that's going to put us at the haste cap, which is awesome. Also lets us swap something else into that other or any slot instead of our Sporale gloves. So that's going to be super cool. We got the Dragonbone bracelet, so we're going to go ahead and merge that up. We got the Torn Frostcover book, which is for one of the other classes' epic quests, which aren't going to be in the game yet. We got the White Dragon Scales, which can be used to, I believe there's a cloak quest that can be done. We're going to grab all these and have them on hand. We can look at what to do with them later. That's it, man. We've done all of the raid bosses outside of the plains. We are Dragon Slayers. We are Scale Breakers. Next stop, we're gonna have to head to the plains. Plane of Hate, Plane of Fear. See if we can kill ourselves a god before this whole thing ends.
Sigil, Doomreaver. Sigil.
Hey everybody, Sigil here. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the Doomreaver become a Scale Breaker, a Dragon Slayer. If you want to see some more, go ahead and hit those YouTube buttons so you'll be alerted when the next one comes out, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.